Captain Alexandra Reyes died 8 years ago on a secret mission.
Her family buried an empty coffin.
Her call sign was retired.
Her name was carved on a memorial wall at a fighter base in Nevada.
Everyone believed she was gone forever.
But on a stormy night over the Pacific Ocean, a passenger jet in danger heard a voice on the radio.
That should not have existed!
And when two F-22 pilots heard the call sign, Falcon, again, they froze in their cockpits, because they knew that call sign belonged to a woman who had died 8 years ago. It was October the 9th, and Alexandra Reyes had been officially dead for exactly 8 years. Her old squadron still remembered her every year with a small ceremony. They stood in silence, looked at an old photo of her in flight gear, and remembered the pilot everyone called Falcon. She had vanished during a classified mission near the Korean border, and no one, not even her own family, knew the full truth about what happened that night. Her father kept her old flight jacket folded in a box in his closet. Her younger brother had joined the Air Force because of her. People at the base still spoke about her flying skills with respect, saying no one before or after her could handle a jet the way she did. But Alexandra Reyes was not dead. At that very moment, she was sitting quietly in seat 14C on a commercial flight from Tokyo to Los Angeles, flying over the dark Pacific Ocean at 39,000 feet. She wore simple clothes, a plain jacket, and a cap pulled low over her eyes. To everyone around her, she looked like a tired traveler trying to sleep. No one on that plane had any idea that the quiet woman in the window seat had once flown some of the most dangerous missions in the world. 8 years earlier, Alexandra had been chosen for a secret operation because she was one of the best pilots in the country. She had thousands of flight hours, deep training in survival skills, and a mind that stayed calm even in the worst danger. Her mission that night was to fly deep into hostile territory and gather important information.
Everything went wrong when her jet was hit by enemy defense systems
that were never supposed to detect her. With her aircraft badly damaged, Alexandra had only seconds to decide. She could eject and risk capture, or she could try something no manual could teach her. She chose to crash land in a remote mountain area, destroy anything that could reveal her identity, and disappear. For the next 8 years, she lived a hidden life, moving quietly through dangerous regions, gathering information that stopped attacks and saved lives.
that would never know her name.
She became sharper, stronger, and more alone than anyone could imagine. Back on the passenger plane, Captain Daniel Brooks had been flying for almost 20 years. He had a perfect safety record and thousands of hours in the sky. But nothing prepared him for what happened that night. Warning! Lights suddenly lit up across the cockpit. Engine power dropped. Electrical systems began failing one after another. Something is wrong with the whole aircraft, said First Officer Maria Chen, watching the instruments with growing worry. Captain Brooks tried to steady the plane, but within minutes, sharp pain gripped his chest. He gasped, lost his vision for a moment, and slumped forward in his seat.
Maria,
he said, weakly.
You have the aircraft!
Maria was now alone, flying a badly damaged plane over the ocean, with hundreds of passengers behind her. She sent out an emergency call, her voice shaking despite her training. Mayday, Mayday. Captain is unconscious. I need help. In the cabin, passengers were reading, sleeping, and talking, completely unaware that their lives were now in danger. High above the dark ocean, Alexandra felt the change in the plane's movement before anyone else did. Years of surviving in dangerous places had trained her senses to notice even the smallest signs of trouble. She listened carefully and understood immediately that something serious was happening. When the announcement came over the speakers, her ears caught something the other passengers missed, the fear hidden behind a calm voice. She stood up. A flight attendant tried to stop her, but Alexandra spoke with quiet confidence. I am a trained pilot.
I can help.
Please let me speak to your crew. Something in her eyes convinced the flight attendant to trust her. They rushed toward the cockpit.
Maria, desperate and alone, agreed to let her in.
Inside the cockpit, Alexandra quickly understood the situation.
The captain was unconscious.
The plane had lost most of its hydraulic power. The electrical systems were failing one by one. She sat down, took a breath,
And told Maria, I need you to trust me. Together, we can bring this plane home.
Maria looked into her eyes and saw someone who had clearly faced far worse dangers before. She nodded. A doctor from the passenger cabin came forward to help the unconscious captain, while Alexandra studied the failing systems. She realized they had limited time before the plane would become impossible to control. She contacted air traffic control and asked for the nearest safe place to land. The controllers told her the nearest airport was still far away, but help was already on its way. 2 military jets were being sent to escort them. A few minutes later, a voice came through the radio.
Aircraft in distress. This is Falcon flight. We are approaching your position to assist.
Alexandra froze for a second when she heard her own old call sign, spoken by someone else. Then she understood. The military must have given a new pilot that same escort call sign. She replied calmly,
Escort flight. This is a civilian aircraft in trouble. We need guidance to the nearest airport.
The lead pilot's voice came back.
Copy that. Who is currently flying the aircraft?
Alexandra paused. For 8 years, she had hidden her real name from everyone.
But that night, with hundreds of lives depending on her, she decided it was time to stop hiding.
This is Alexandra Reyes, she said. I am assisting the crew. There was a long silence on the radio. In the cockpit of one of the fighter jets, the pilot's hands froze on the controls. He had heard that name before. During training, during memorials, during stories older pilots told about the best flyer they ever knew. Did you say Reyes? He asked slowly. Captain Alexandra Reyes has been listed as deceased for 8 years.
I am aware of my official status.
Alexandra replied steadily.
Right now, I need your help.
Landing this aircraft safely. The pilot, whose own call sign was Falcon that night, understood the strange truth quickly. Whether it was truly her or not, someone on that plane was flying with incredible skill,
And lives were at stake.
He put his questions aside and focused on the mission. For the next several minutes, the 2 fighter jets guided the damaged airliner toward the nearest safe runway.
Alexandra flew with steady hands,
Using every skill she had gathered during her years of survival in the field, she kept the passengers calm through short, clear announcements, even as she fought to control a plane that barely wanted to stay in the air. The landing was difficult. With weak brakes and limited control, the plane used almost the entire runway before finally coming to a stop. Emergency vehicles surrounded the aircraft immediately. All passengers were safe. The captain was rushed to the hospital, where doctors said he would survive because they had landed just in time. By the time investigators reached the plane, Alexandra had already disappeared into the crowd of passengers being guided away. She left no trace, except for one thing. The cockpit recordings had captured every word she said, including the name she had not spoken aloud in 8 years. Within days, military investigators confirmed the impossible. The mysterious passenger truly was Captain Alexandra Reyes, alive after 8 years believed dead. Her secret mission had never truly ended. It had simply changed into something no one expected, a long, silent operation that saved lives without anyone knowing her name. When she finally returned to her family, there were tears, disbelief, and long overdue hugs. Her father held her tightly, unable to speak. Her brother, now a young officer himself, could not stop staring at the sister.
He thought he had lost forever.
Military officials debriefed her for weeks. The information she brought back was more valuable than anyone expected, but more than the secrets she carried. People were amazed by the choice she made that night on the plane, the choice to reveal herself and risk everything to save strangers. News of the flight spread quickly. Passengers spoke about the calm woman who appeared during their darkest moment. The fighter pilots who escorted the plane spoke publicly about hearing a call sign that belonged to a woman everyone believed was dead. Months later, at a quiet ceremony, her old squadron presented her with a new flight helmet, painted carefully on the side. Was her call sign Falcon? The pilots told her the name would never be given to anyone else again. It belonged only to her. 2 years after that night, Alexandra Reyes leads a training program for young pilots, teaching them not just how to fly, but how to make hard decisions when lives depend on it. She still flies with her old squadron from time to time, feeling the same joy she felt the very first time
She took control of a fighter jet.
She often tells her students the same lesson. You are trained to fly aircraft,
But your true duty is to protect people.
but on one dangerous night above the Pacific Ocean, she proved that some heroes never truly disappear. Never forget that.
Matter less than the lives in your hands.
Titles, missions, and secrets. She proved that some heroes never truly disappear. They simply wait for the moment.
The world needs them again.